going to yes, right now I'm going to take a lecture for 1 hour. After 1 hour, you can continue with your project work, your lab work. So I'm giving you a few minutes so that your friends can connect. I don't want them to miss this. Okay, let us start. Okay, can you see my screen? Fine. Is there a way to zoom out this VS Code screen? Anyone? No, that's not working. Control mouse wheel is not working. Control minus I can try. Yeah, control minus is working. Fine. Okay. Now, in last lecture, we started with the discussion of prototype, prototypal inheritance, and prototype chain. So We stop at this point. We created one constructor function person, which has two properties. Then I created one object. I printed that object. And then I add one property in the prototype of that person, that is person.prototype.calcage. So when I add any property in the prototype, okay, it will be used, or you can say it will be inherited by all the objects that are created from this constructor function person. So all objects will share this method, though they need not to copy this method in their own space, but they can use it. And that's why when I say, when I create new person 2, I can easily use calcage. But this calcage method, it is not part of person 1 or person 2. It is directly part of prototype of person. Okay, so it will be inherited by all the objects of person class. So this is where we stop, right? Now let us see few outputs. Okay. Okay, before that, let me just show this thing. And when I print this, you can see that person object, it does not contain calcage, but it is there part of protocol or prototype of person object. It is there, right? And this is nothing but the age of person 2, which is calculated using this method that you can call on person 2 or person 1 or any object of person. Okay. And what it does, it simply give you the current year minus the birth year, and that will be given to you. Okay. So this is where we stop. Now I'm going to print something extra. What I'm printing, person.prototype. Okay. So what is person.prototype? This person.prototype. So where it is, yeah, this is person.prototype, which contains calcage method, Okay, generally you are talking about inheritance between two different classes, right? Two different constructor functions that we are going to see mostly tomorrow. Then I am printing person 1 dot underscore underscore proto, okay, which must be same as person dot prototype, which is nothing but person dot prototype.
वीडियो ना सर बनावे છે મારા.
Any problem? Someone has unmuted. Okay. So person 1 dot proto, if you see, that is also same, which has calcage and also same thing. Okay, it is the same thing. Why? Because person dot prototype, it's a property of constructor function person, which is set to the all objects that you create from person class, right? It is attached to the person 1 dot proto, person 2 dot proto, everywhere it will be attached. The same person dot prototype will be attached. And if you compare them, definitely you get true value. So this is what we discussed yesterday. Not yesterday, I think on Monday, right? This is what we discussed on Monday. Any question up to this? See, this is very important to understand this part. Then only you will understand remaining thing. Okay. So I assume there is no question. Now, okay, Urjit, what are you trying to ask? I'm not getting you, Urjit. You mean say constructor has proto and proto has object? That is what you are trying to say? You are actually not understanding the idea. Constructor is nothing. I mean, we have constructor function. We are talking about constructor function which behaves as a class. It has a property called prototype. So person is a constructor function. It has a property called prototype. And objects that you create from constructor function person, like person1 or person2, they have their own prototype attached with them. They are called __ proto, or nowadays in browser they are shown as double square bracket prototype. Okay, and that is nothing but it is same as this. So this is assigned to that, and that is what we already discussed in new keyword. When we discuss new keyword, we have discussed that. So you need to remember it. Now console.log, what I do, person.prototype is prototype of person1. Tell me what will be the output of this. What will be the output of this? True. It will be true. For second, true. And for third, person is also one object, right? It's a constructor function. Is it true? Is it true? Okay, let me hide this so you get it. It's false. It is false because person itself is another object. It's a function object, right? And it has its own prototype attached to that. Let me show it here. This person, and it is this one, this person function. It has its own prototype. It has its own prototype where it is this one. See, so it is not person.prototype, or I can show it here. Let me print here. And I have this person dot. Let me try this way. Do I have this or not? Yeah. See, it is a function, native code. It's different thing. Okay, it is a different thing. So it is not same as this. So person.prototype is a different property. Prototype is a property of person class, but person has its own __ proto, which is different. Are you getting all this? Yes. Then which one? This one? See, you need to understand. So that is the main confusion, Priyank. __ proto and prototype, they are two different things. First of all, prototype, it is a property of constructor function. Full stop. Prototype is a property of constructor function, whereas __ proto, it is always attached with any type of objects, whether it is a normal object, array object, function object, whatever object it is. All objects has __ proto. Okay, and now this __ proto, it is actually now referred as this double bracket prototype. The new name is double bracket prototype. Okay, so this person object, this is Sachin person object, and it has this prototype, and this prototype is nothing but person.prototype. This is person.prototype, which contains person.prototype, which contains calcage. So it is here. So prototype is a person property, but it is not __ proto of person. That is very important thing that you need to understand. These two things. These are the two different things. Does this make sense now, everyone? Okay. Now, let us see one more thing. What we are doing here. In person.prototype, we are adding one more property. We are adding one more property in person.prototype. Okay. That is species, which has value Homo sapiens. Now, whatever property you add, whether it is a property or method, whatever property or method you add inside person.prototype, they will be available to all the objects which you create using this constructor function, using new person. They will be available. So this species is a property which will be available in person1, person2, or whatever objects you create. So now what I log person1.species, person2.species. So what will be the output of this two line? What will be the output? Will it be undefined or it will have these values? Will it print this Homo sapiens twice or no? Yes, right? So let me just see Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens. It is printed by this. Okay. By this line it is printed. But then interesting thing is person1 dot has own property first name and person1 dot has own property species. Okay, what will be the output? Yes, first name is the own property of the person because it is the own property, whereas species is not own property. It is part of prototype. It is part of prototype. True and false. Now you are getting it, right? Now you are getting it. Now, let us understand this prototypal inheritance in built-in objects. Okay. So let's do one thing. Person1 dot proto person1. Okay, what is this? What is this? Person1 dot underscore underscore proto. It is same as yes, it is same as person dot prototype, correct? Okay, but then what is proto of person1 dot underscore underscore proto underscore underscore proto? What is this? That means it is proto object or prototype attached with person dot prototype. Okay, and person dot prototype is having object dot prototype as proto of that, right? So this is basically objects dot prototype. And so this is objects dot prototype. So what is the proto of objects dot prototype? This 3 will give you, and that is null, correct? So this should print that way. See, this is person1 dot prototype. Should I use here dir? Does that make difference? Yes. So person1 underscore proto, it is this one. Yeah, it is same as diagram, correct? Then person1 dot underscore underscore proto dot underscore underscore proto, that is objects prototype. And that's why you have all these methods. And this is null. Third one is null. Correct? So now I think you are getting all this. Now I think you are getting all this. Now, what is this? Can anyone tell me what is this? Person dot prototype dot constructor. If you see the diagram, yes, it is function itself. Correct. Correct. Function itself. So let us print it. So it is function itself. Right. So now you are getting this, right? Good. Now let us do it on built-in objects. See, array, I am creating one array. Whether you create array like this or you use new array, both are same. Okay, this is how you can create array. So I have created this array. And what this will print? Can anyone tell me? What this will print? Array dot underscore underscore proto. What is it? No, that is fine. That is prototype object attach. Yes, Vimal is correct. Array dot prototype, because array dot prototype, where prototype is the property of array. So this will print array dot prototype. So this, so definitely this will be true. This will be true. But what is this then? What this will print? Correct. Object dot prototype. I think I should use, yeah, see this is array dot proto, which is array dot prototype. This is array dot prototype. Both are same. And this is object dot prototype. This is object dot prototype. So these are the methods in object dot prototype, right? So this is nothing but prototypal inheritance in built-in objects. Okay. Now, few more things. Okay, one thing, it is also possible that you can add new properties or methods inside prototype property of inbuilt built-in objects or inbuilt object. Okay, like this. I can do this also. I can modify. I am trying to add new method unique inside array dot prototype. Okay, I can do this where it returns all unique elements from the array. That is this, because wherever I call this function, on whichever object I call this function, that is an array object, and that array object, it will be converted into set. So whenever you create set out of any list of elements, it will contain only unique elements. So this will create unique. This is a sprayed operator. This is a sprayed operator. Okay, you need to read this sprayed operator by yourself. You can read that. So this will create a set of unique elements from this object. This object here, this will represent the array object which is calling this function, which is going to call this unique function or method. Okay, and then whatever elements you have, that you put in array, and that you will return. So it will also return. It will also return an array. So now if I do this, okay, can you tell me what will be the output? I am calling this unique method on ARR array. That is my array object. This one. That is 3659. Right? That is 3659. So you can also add properties and methods inside prototype property of inbuilt object. That is also allowed, but it is not recommended. It is not recommended. Okay, you should not change prototype property of any built-in objects, because that is going to affect other objects which are using it. So you should not do that. Another is functions to have their own proto. As I told you, this person here, we discuss it. Person is having its own prototype, right? This one, person dot underscore underscore proto. Every function is an object. and it has its own prototype attached to that. So functions prototype property is different, and functions own prototype object attached to that is different. So here also, let us see this. What I am doing here. What is this? What this represent? What this represent? Arrow function. So basically it's a function. Basically it's a function. So now I am printing that function here. It is anonymous function. As there is no name, it is anonymous. But it has its own prototype attached to that. And what is attached to this function? For every function, the default prototype attached to that is another function which has all these methods inside: apply, bind, call. So if you remember, we can call apply method, call method, bind method, all these methods we can call on any function object, if you remember. Yes or no? And why we can do that? Because every function has its own prototype attached to that, and that prototype contains those methods. That is why it is possible for any function to call apply method, call method, bind object or bind method. All these methods we can call on function object because they are the methods inside the prototype attached to any function. I hope now this makes some sense to you and you are getting the idea. Are you getting this? Okay. So now let us start new lecture. Now today we will discuss classes in JavaScript, ES6 classes. Basically they are defined from ES6. So and object.create method. We will discuss these two things. So classes in JavaScript, they are introduced in ECMAScript 2015, that is EC6 or ES6. It's a syntactical sugar over JavaScript's existing prototype based inheritance. Basically these classes defined in ES6, they are nothing but behind the scene. They are nothing but constructor functions only. Okay, they are nothing but constructor functions only. It does not introduce a new object-oriented inheritance model to JavaScript. So it is not going to introduce different type of inheritance. There is only prototypal inheritance in JavaScript. So even though you use classes, whatever inheritance you implement using this classes, still behind the scene it is same. So defining classes, okay. One is class declaration, another is class expression. It is like function declaration and function expression, okay. There are two syntax for functions declaration and function expression. Similarly, to define a class, there are two syntax. Either you can use class declaration or you can use class expression, though class expressions are not used much. What is class declaration? Very simple. Class keyword followed by name, curly braces is the body of that class, and that contains special function or special method called constructor and other methods. This is the basic structure of any class declaration. Class keyword, class name, its body which contains special function constructor and other methods. Okay. So this is one example. Class keyword, name of the class, inside body special method constructor which has two parameters, height and width, and you assign that height to this dot height and this dot width. So this is your constructor which initializes properties height and width of rectangle class. Okay. Currently, I have not put any method inside this, that we will see. And then I am creating one object of that class. Okay, I am creating one object of that class. So let us see. See, rectangle class, same thing. Then I create that object and I print that object. Simple. And I print that object. What happened? Oh, sorry. This is lecture 8. Okay. So it is printing rectangle object which has two properties, height and width, which has two property, height and width, with value 20 and 30 that you are sending. Okay. And of course it is an object, so it has its own prototype attached to that, which contains constructor, and it has its own prototype attached to that, which is object's prototype. So now you can see that this is not different from constructor function, is it? Are you getting this? Simple class. Okay. Then, okay, we discussed this hosting, function hosting and variable hosting. Do you remember? What does it mean? Can we use functions or variables before we define them? I hope you remember that. So if you use function declaration, then it is allowed. If you use function declaration, then you can use that function before you declare it. In some variables, it is allowed, right? What about class? Class declarations are not hosted. It means if you want to use any class to create object, that must be defined first. Okay. So basically, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't use class to create object of that before I declare it. Okay, this is not allowed. Let me see if I have any example for. Okay, now let me show you the similarity. Actually, I forgot to do this. I am creating class rectangle and I am creating constructor function rect. Okay, so this is through class. This is class object and this is constructor function object. And let me show you how they are similar. See, both are having same height and width property. Both are having prototype object attached to that. And that prototype object is also same. The only difference is constructor here it is called class rectangle. Here the constructor says it is rect function. That's it. Okay, but otherwise they are same. They are completely same. So this is what I wanted to show you, that this class that we create using ES6 syntax, behind the scene, they are nothing but constructor functions. Behind the scene, they are nothing but constructor functions. And another thing that I want to show you here is you cannot use class before it is declared. Okay. Uncaught reference error. Cannot access rectangle before initialization. So that is not allowed. But can I use function declaration before it is defined? Is this allowed? Yes, it is allowed. There is no problem. Okay, there is no syntactical error. So this is one difference that you can see. Hosting is not allowed in classes, but it is allowed in function declaration. Now class expressions. Okay, so you can create one class object like this. You can create one class object like this and you assign it to some variable. So this is class expression, but unnamed class expression. You are not providing any class name. It will be known by its name rectangle. It will be known by its name rectangle. So when you print rectangle.name, see name is a now you can see this name is a property which we are not defining here. Okay, which we are not defining here. So let me print it. You say undefined, right? Cable says it should be giving undefined. Okay, what I am printing is rectangle dot name. It is nothing but rectangle. Why it is giving this way? Let me show it here. Class rectangle, it has this property name rectangle. Automatically it is added. It is there. Okay, automatically it is added rectangle. So you can get that value. And this name comes from this variable name because you have unnamed class expression. You are not providing any name here. But if I provide that name there, okay, if I provide that name there, okay, so let me use this one. Now see what I do. Rectangle equal to class rectangle2. So this is named class expression where I am providing the name of the class. Okay, and then I print this rectangle object. What will be the name? What will be the name? Exactly, rectangle 2. It is rectangle 2. Okay, so these are the class expressions, though we don't use much this class expressions. Okay, this is named class expression, same thing. Constructor and methods. Okay, there is some problem in animation, fine. So the constructor method is a special method for creating and initializing an object created with a class. You know what is the meaning of constructor, right? There can only be one special method with the name constructor in a class. Okay, there can be only one special method with the name constructor, and the name must be constructor. A syntax error will be thrown if the class contains more than one occurrence of constructor method. A constructor can use the super keyword to call the constructor of the super class. This we will see tomorrow. This we will see tomorrow. Okay. Methods defined in class are added in the prototype and not considered as property. Now this is very important statement. Methods that you define, till now we haven't seen any method in our class, but whatever method you put in class, it will be automatically added in the prototype of that class. Okay, and it is not considered as property of that class. Okay, so what I am talking about is this. See this class, rectangle class, it has this constructor and it has one method find area. It has one method find area. And then I create rectangle object and I print that rectangle object. So what's the output? Okay, before we see output, there is another part. I mean, the similar thing with the help of constructor function now. Okay. Now, when you want to do the same thing in constructor function, how you can do it? Create constructor function, set this height and width, and rect.prototype.find area equal to this function. Basically, find area that you define here as a method of this class, it is nothing but added as a method in the prototype of that constructor function. Okay, so if you see the output, see when you print rectangle, when you print this rectangle, height and width, they are the property of rectangle class, but find area is not. It is part of prototype. See, it is part of prototype of rectangle, find area. Similarly here. Are you getting this? So whichever method you add in class, ES6 class, it is added in the prototype attached to that class. Okay. So these are the two equivalent code. Unlike a regular function, a class constructor can't be called without new. Okay. Another difference between class and function. See here, function can be called, this rect function can be called without new. If you want to just call that function, that is allowed. I hope you remember that. Constructor functions are not different from any other function, right? You can use that constructor function with new, but if you want, you can also call that function without new. That is allowed, but that is not allowed with constructor of class. Constructor can't be called without new. A class constructor can't be called without new. Class methods are non-enumerable. So by default, whatever method you add inside class, they are by default non-enumerable. Okay, you cannot enumerate that. Classes always use strict mode. All code inside the class construct is automatically in strict mode. So these are some features that you need to know regarding class. So when we compare class and constructor function, we need to understand these three things. Okay. Now getters and setters inside class method, inside class. So this is one example. I have a person class. It has a constructor which sets first name and last name to the properties first name and last name. Now I define getter and setter. Getter and setter, they are method. They are methods. Okay. So how to define those methods? Only thing that you need to put get and set before method name. Only you need to put get and set before method name. Getter cannot take a parameter and setter take exactly one parameter. So this is how getter setter can be defined. Okay. And what this getter does, it simply return full name. So this dot first name plus this dot last name, I just create this as a full name. And set full name, what it does, it just find out if the name that you have passed, if it includes some space, then it will split that name with delimited space and assign it to the first name and last name, and assign it to the first name and last name. Else it will simply print some message. So let me go through this here. This one. See. So I create one person object with first name Sachin, second name or last name is Tendulkar, and then I say p dot full name. So full name, because of this getter setter, it is a method now. It is a it becomes property now. So full name is a property, but when you call property without passing any argument, it will call getter. And what getter returns? This dot first name plus space plus this dot last name, and that is why you get this value. That is why you get this value here. Okay. What if I do this? Now I try to call p dot full name equal to some value. What this will do? What this will do? Yes. First, it will try to call setter. It is trying to call setter, but in setter, if it includes space, then okay. Otherwise, it will give you this message. So there is no space. So this will give you some message. So given name is not a full name. But instead of that, if I use this, then it will take it and it will print p dot full name, that is now changed to Rohit Sharma. Are you getting this? So this is how you can define getter and setter without your class. This is how you can define getter and setter within your ES6 class. And let's try this. Okay. Now what this will print? Can anyone tell me? Why false? Because of prototype. So you are telling that this full name property is part of prototype. That is what you are trying to tell me, Keval? Okay. So if you want to see that, I can show it here. What I should do, I can print it like this. So full name is shown here, but it is not a property. Property, it is here. And it is not showing any value because it will be shown on calculation only when you calculate that. It is actually a property of prototype. Though it is shown here, but it is not property of person class object. It is property of within the prototype. Okay, so it was there actually. I forgot to show that. It was here, right? So it is there. So it shows false because full name, though it is shown here, it is actually because full name property, it is defined because of getter and setter. That is why full name is defined. And getter and setter, they are methods. That's why this is property from prototype. It is part of prototype. So if you print this also, own property descriptors. Now, own property descriptors. So if you want, you can do this. There is no special purpose of this. This is sufficient. Are you getting up to this? Okay. Let us take one more example of getters and setters. This is little different. Okay. Now see this. Okay. Let me go through this rather. Let us open it here. Now what I'm doing, one class user, it has constructor which takes name and it assigns that name to the property name. Okay. And now I am defining getter and setter name, that is again with the same name. Okay. I already have name property and I am creating another name property. Because getter and setter, they are also going to create property. Okay. So is it allowed first of all? Let us do one thing. Let's not do anything here, but it won't work actually. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, normally when you create object, when you create user some name, inside constructor, when you do this dot name equal to name, and if you have some setter method with the same name, actually this thing is going to call this method. So when you try to do this, internally it will call this method because you have setter method. Okay. Now when you call this method, forget about this if part right now. Just assume that you have this only, this dot name equal to value. This dot name equal to value. What this will do? What this dot name equal to value will do? Forget about this if. Let's say this if is not there. Is it going to set Virat here? Actually, this is a recursive call. This is a recursive call because whenever you do this dot name equal to value, some name, it is going to call setter because you have setter method for name. So automatically this will call this setter. But inside that again you call, so basically it's a recursive call. Let me show it here. Maximum call stack size exceeded because of recursion. Are you getting this? So what is the solution? Either you use different name, or one thing that we can do here is some convention underscore. From setter and getter, when we refer name, we use underscore. It becomes a different property. This is a convention. So it becomes different property and now it is there. So Virat is set, and when you print that name, okay, now what this will do? User.name. When you try to print user.name, what it will do? Actually, it will call get method. Yes, it will call get method. And what get method returns? This one. Okay, if you want to see that, we can print here. User. So you can see user. It has underscore name equal to Virat, and name is calculate property because of getter and setter. This which you can calculate, and it is part of prototype also. See, this name is part of prototype because it is through getter and setter. It is through getter and setter. Are you getting this special case? When you have getter and setter, which has same name as some existing property, you need to do some trick here. You need to work this way. Or the simple idea, simple solution is don't use same name. That is the simplest solution. Don't use same name. But if you have same name, you can do. Are you getting? So this is how normally you can define getter and setter inside ES6 class. Okay. Then comes static methods. So the static keyword, it defines a static method for the class. Simple. Just before method, you put static, and that method becomes static. But the purpose of static method is here is little different. Actually, static methods are called only on class and not on the instance. This is weird. I don't know about C++, but in Java, static method, can we call static method on instance also? In Java? What is the case in Java? You can't call static method? See, this static method in Java can be called on class as well as its instance, right? There is no such limitation. There is no such limit. But in JavaScript, static method can be called only on class and not on any instance. Okay. Static methods are often used to create utility functions for an application. So let us see one example. See here. I have one class point which has one constructor which sets property x and y. It has a static method a and b. How it finds it? So constant dx equal to a dot x minus b dot x and constant dy equal to a dot y minus b dot y, and then it is using some mathematical function. Okay. Basically, this method, hypot method, that will give you Euclidean distance. What is Euclidean distance? What is the formula? It is the square root of summation of squares of each. Basically, this is nothing but square root of dx square plus dy square. Okay, so this is the answer. But this is a static method and it can be called only on class name and not on object. I have another method which is not static, display method, which simply returns. Okay, have we discussed this string literal? Let me do it here. See, this display method uses string literal. String literal can be defined using this back quote. Just below escape key, you have back quote, right? Using that, you can use this dollar and within curly braces, you can put variable name or property name and you can get that value. So display method simply return, within bracket, it returns x and y. Okay. Now I have 2 points objects, P1 and P2. And then I call this distance method, but I can call only on class name. Okay. So you can see here, distance between P1.display, which is going to display 0.1, and P2.display, which is going to display 0.2. So this will say 89, this will say 55. Here it is, you can see that. And then I call point.distance by passing 2 values P and Q. So it will do P1.x minus P2.x, and this is P1.y minus P2.y, and it will give you this value. So that value is 5, because that is nothing but 8 minus 5, 3, 9 minus 5, 4. So that is underscore 3 square plus 4 square. That is 9 plus 16. That is 25. So underscore 25, that is 5. Under root 25, square root of 25, that is 5. So this is just an example of static method, which you can call only on class name. Even if you try to, okay, see here, I am trying to call distance on object P1, which is not a class. So it says undefined. There is no distance method on P. I mean, you cannot call it basically. It is undefined. Are you getting? Static methods are also part of prototype. Okay. Let me show it here. See, it is part of class. It is part of class, not prototype. Okay, someone has unmuted. Fine. So static methods are there. Now, very important thing, object.create. So give me 10 minutes, I'll complete this. Object.create method, it creates a new object using an existing object as the prototype of the newly created object. Till now, what we have seen, whenever you create object using class constructor or constructor function, it has prototype property, and that is set as prototype to the newly created object. That is what we have seen, right? But in object.create, what you can do, while creating object, if you want to set some other object as prototype for that newly created object, you can use object.create. The syntax is like this: object.create. The object that you want to attach to the newly created object as underscore underscore proto of that object, you put that object here. And there is another optional, this is optional argument, properties object, which is actually going to define properties for that newly created object. So let us see them one by one. So let's create an object with no prototype. See, you can do something like this. Create an object with no prototype. What I do, I create one person object, object.create by passing null. So that no prototype. No prototype will be attached to this person object. So if you log type of person, what will be the output? Type of person. Can anyone tell me? What should be the output of type of person? Object, correct. It is an object. So output is like this, but it is an, so output is object. Okay, type of person, it is object. But when I print that person object, it is empty object. Because object.create, it creates an empty object. It creates an empty object. And as you haven't passed second argument, there is no properties. There is no properties. Okay. One more example. With property now. What I am doing? I am creating one object using object.create by passing null as prototype object for that. Then again, I am printing its type and I am printing that object. But this time now I am setting one property for that object, person name. And I print person again. See, first time when person is empty object, it is empty object. But second time when person, it has property name. It has one property name. Are you? I am using object.create to create empty object with null prototype. There is prototype. This prototype is equal to null. Are you getting this? Okay. Then let us create an object with prototype now. So what we are doing, creating one object, let's call it object, which has one property full name, which is nothing but a method. Okay, so this is same as the full name that we just saw. Okay, so this is one object with one property full name. Now I want to create person object with this object as its prototype. With this object as prototype. So that is why I am passing it here. So this object will be attached to the newly created object's prototype. Okay, and newly created object person is empty object. It is an empty object. See, it is an empty object, but it has prototype. And what is that? It is this object. If you expand this, you can see here. It contains this full name. It contains this full name. Let me show it this. See. So it is an empty object, but it has prototype attached to that, and it is nothing but this prototype. This object is the prototype because it has this full name. Are you getting this? This is very important method because if you want to attach an object as prototype to particular object, you can do this. Now let us add some property to that. I'm adding property and then, okay. Now I'm adding property to this person. Ronak, we will discuss this. Don't worry. We will discuss. And all this we will discuss when we discuss inheritance in the next lecture. Now I am adding two properties, first name and last name, to this person object. And then I call person dot full name, because what full name does, it simply prints first name plus last name. So see, this person is still empty object. This person is still empty object. But now this is updated actually. This is updated later on when you do this. When you do this, it is updated. And when you print full name, it is printed like this. If I print this person here, it is like this. But in both cases, though this is empty object, as it is updated here, you will get that updated point here, right? Cases. And both has prototype. I mean, they are same object actually. So prototype is also same with this object. Are you getting? Yes or no? Now, can you tell me what this will do? If you remember, person is an object. I take one property at a time and I print it. So which properties will be printed? Which property names will be printed? Okay. Why F name and L name only? Which property names are printed? All three. If you remember, when you use foreign loop, it will print own properties as well as prototype properties, prototype chain properties. I hope you remember. But if you use, instead of this, if you use this, okay, object.keys, it will print only its own properties. It will print only its own properties, first name and last name. See, only these two properties, no full name, because full name is part of prototype. It is part of prototype. Are you getting? So this is the same thing. Now second part, second argument, properties object, which is optional, but what it does, properties object is used to create properties on a new object that you are creating. It acts as a descriptor for the new properties to be defined. It is like this, see. Okay, let me go through this rather. Here is an example, the same example. Now this is going to be my prototype object, so that I am going to put here. And second is optional, but if I want to add properties while creating the object person, I want to set prototype object as well as I want to set some properties. I can do like this. First name is a property, and these are the some of the attributes of that property. This is a data property, so it has 4 possible attributes: value, writable, enumerable, and configurable. What I say, value equal to this Virat, writable is true, enumerable is true. And then another property, last name, where I provide only value. I don't provide writable, enumerable, or configurable. So they will take their default value. Writable, enumerable, and configurable in last name, it will take default value, and default value will be false here. It will be false here. And that is why here I am making it true. That is why I am making it here true. So this is how you can provide property descriptor. Second is nothing but property descriptor. Okay, so this will create first name and last name property within person object. with prototype object as its prototype. So when I log this, you can see that it has first name, last name. It has first name, last name, and it has prototype, which has this full name method, Okay. Now what this will print? What this will print? Null. Why null? Object.keys, it will print its own property. So which are the own property of person object? First name and last name. Yes. So will this print first name and last name? Yash is correct. Yash Shah is correct. It will print only first name because object.keys can print own property which are enumerable. It prints own property of that object which are enumerable. Last name is not enumerable because default value of enumerable is false. So this will print only first name. Are you getting this? Yes. Are you getting this? Now what this will print? Foreign loop will print its own property as well as prototype property, but only enumerable property. Only first name and full name. Last name is not enumerable, so it won't be printed. Is this clear, everyone? So with this, today's lecture is over. This is very important to understand object.create and these classes, because now in next lecture we will be discussing inheritance between two different objects, and through all three different methods, through constructor function, through classes, and through object.create. All these three that we will be discussing in next lecture. And syllabus for this session, whatever I taught in the class, that is the syllabus. Yeah, I'll share this PDF, but tomorrow, once I finalize this all, then I'll share this tomorrow. Fine. So now you can continue with your project work. I am done with my session.